Hello everybody, this is Zoe from No Safer Place, and you guys have been asking for more bookish videos, and as we've just come to the end of the first half of the year, I thought I would share with you my favourite books of 2017 so far. Now, the books that I've chosen have been absolutely amazing. They aren't just my favourite books of the first half of the year, but some of my favourite books in general, and I am so excited to share them with you all. The first book I've chosen is My Beautiful Struggle by Jordan Bone. Now, with a lot of these books, you will have seen them in book hauls or over on my Twitter or on my blog, because when I like a book, I do love to talk about it, and all of these books I'm sure that I've mentioned at least once before. But this book focuses on Jordan Bone. I'm not sure if you guys know, but she is a YouTuber, and this book is about how she became famous and how she does makeup tutorials and things like that. But the most inspiring part of this story is the fact that Jordan is a tetraplegic, which means she is in a wheelchair and she has very little use of her body. She can use her wrists, and it's just the way that she overcame that to become a famous YouTuber. I mean, it's just an incredible story. There are so many inspirational quotes in here, and honestly, if you want a book that is going to make you cry, this is most definitely the book for you. The next book I've chosen will probably come as no surprise to you, and it is the debut novel from Hayley Barker, and it is called Showstopper. This book is just one of the most unique stories I've ever read. I find it really hard with YA to find books that are new. I mean, I know the concept might be new, but there's not many stories that I'm like, wow, I've never heard something like this before. So this book focuses on Ben and Hashiko. Ben is a son of the mayor, and he is a pure, which means that he is very well respected and very high up, very upper class. And he meets a girl called Hashiko. She is a dreg, and she is a tightrope performer in a circus. Now, a dreg is kind of like an immigrant, and people look down on them, and it's kind of just a very extreme world in which we live in now. And it's the story of these two meeting each other and finding their differences and embracing them and just learning to love each other. And it is just an incredible story. And I just think, because it's so relevant to the events that are happening now, I just think this book is amazing and so current, so go and check out this book. I'm also doing a giveaway for this book over on my channel, which will be ending on the 8th of July, just in time for the readathon. So if you'd like a copy of this, make sure you go over there and check it out. The next book is one of my all-time favourite books. I am so glad I found this book, and it is After the Fire by Will Hill. Will Hill, that's such a hard name to say, Will Hill. But this book is seriously incredible. I am so fascinated by cults and things like that, that when I read the blurb of this book, I was like, yes, I need to read this book. Like, I was so obsessed with The Following when that was out, because I was just so intrigued by cults and what would drive someone to believe someone and believe that they're this all-powerful being. And that's exactly what the story is. It's about the story of Moonbeam, and she is a 17-year-old, and she is kind of living on this barn? Yeah, it's like kind of like a barn or a farm, and she is being controlled by this all-powerful Father John. Now, Father John apparently speaks on behalf of God and tells them what to do and how to act and tortures them. And then one day there is a fire, and Moonbeam is now in a rehabilitation centre, and this is her story of how she's overcome everything, and she's telling the story to a psychiatrist. And it is probably one of the most heartbreaking stories I've ever read. What I love about this is it feels so genuine. You honestly believe that this girl is a victim and she has written this story herself, and you can just feel everything she feels and live through everything she's lived through, and it is just absolutely stunning. You will definitely be crying at this book, especially at the ending, and just wow, go and pick a copy of it up. So the next book I've only just read. I finished it a few days ago because I won a competition over at Penguin Platform, and they sent me their May reads, and this one was one of them. And if you know me, you'll know that Othello is my all-time favourite play. So when I picked up this book and saw that it was Othello reimagined, I was like, yes, give me this book. It's kind of like a modern day Othello. Well, modern. It was set in the 70s, so not that modern, but more modern than Shakespeare. So this is New Boy by Tracy Chevalier. I think it's Chevalier, we'll go with that. I'm sure that's what they said on Penguin Platform. But this is the story of O.C., and he is in Washington DC and starts a new school, and he meets the lovely Dee and they fall in love. As children do, they fall hard and fast, and it's a time in America where there is still a lot of racism, and a black boy in an all-white school was very, very uncommon, and everyone kind of isolates him and makes him feel like he doesn't fit in. But then he is very good at sports, and one of the popular boys picks up on this and he is suddenly accepted. And then Ian, who is Iago, kind of convinces him that Dee isn't all as innocent as she is made out to be, and it just follows the exact story of Othello. I don't want to ruin too much, because if you haven't read Othello, then I don't want to ruin this story. But it is just stunning. It really is. It portrays the story so well, and you can relate to every part of the story if you know the original one. And it's just amazing, and it just shows you that these themes that were written about 400 or 500 years ago are still relevant in today's world, and I just find that absolutely incredible. So thank you, Penguin Platform, for sending me this book. Do you know what one of my favourite things was about this book? That they kept kind of the same names, because obviously Othello was O.C. and Desdemona was Dee and Iago was Ian, and I just thought it was such a good play on words. So that was one of my favourite things about this book. So if you follow me on Twitter or have seen any of my recent book hauls, you will know what this next book is, and you will know how much I've loved it. And it is Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare. Now obviously this book is a sequel, so I don't want to say too much about the story, because if you haven't read the first one, I really don't want to spoil it. But obviously it is set in the Shadowhunter world, and if you haven't heard of Shadowhunters, which rock have you been living under? Because they are so big now, especially with the new TV show. They are seriously incredible. And this book just did not disappoint. It was so much better than Lady Midnight. It is full of drama and tension and just, oh, I couldn't put it down. And I don't normally like long books, but this was just unputdownable. And I'm actually going to meet Cassandra in a few months, and I'm so excited. She has been an idol of mine for so long, and I've honestly read every single one of her books. So I can't wait. So if you haven't read any of the series, go and pick up Lady Midnight and read this one next, because it is seriously amazing. The next book I have chosen, again, this will be no surprise to you if you know how much I love Samantha Shannon. I feel like I read this book such a long time ago, because I got sent a proof back in January. So it feels like this book was out so long ago, but actually it was only released in March. And I know some of you have only just started reading it or just finished it, but I just feel like I finished it months and months ago, and that I need book 4 already. But this book is The Song Rising by Samantha Shannon. Again, this is the 3rd book in a series, so I don't want to spoil too much, but the general story is that there is a clairvoyant called Paige Mahoney. He lives in a dystopian world where clairvoyancy is illegal, and she is one of the highest kinds of clairvoyance. So she is very well sought after. Everyone wants a piece of her, everyone wants her dead, and she is on the run. And she meets a very interesting guy called Warden, and he is my favourite character in a story ever. He is just... Can you guys hear that wind? I'm so sorry. It's incredible. And yeah, he is definitely my favourite character ever. He's just so mysterious and brooding. And yeah, him and Paige are just the ultimate ship. But yeah, definitely go and read the first one. I actually think the 3rd one is my favourite, because it is so different from the first 2, and you get to find out more about the dystopian world rather than just dystopian London. So yeah, definitely go and check this one out. The last book I have chosen was, again, another really early release of 2017, and it is Happy Mum, Happy Baby by Giovanna Fletcher. Now, I actually did a full review of this over on my channel, so I don't think I need to go into too much detail, but I will leave a link down below for you to go and watch it if you'd like. But it basically focuses on G and her adventures into motherhood and how she became a mum, and just the ups and downs, the highs and lows, the really funny parts, the really personal parts. And honestly, this book is just so feel good, and it will make you laugh, it will make you cry. It is full of just really genuine, honest stories, and I love that about G. She's so normal and so down to earth, and I think it's so refreshing for a mum to be so honest about what motherhood is like. So they are my top 7 books of 2017 so far. If you've read any of them, let me know what you think. I would love to know what your top books of 2017 are. Leave them in the comments below. Leave me a comment of what you would like to see more of on my channel. Give me a like, subscribe, and I hope to see you all again soon. Thank you. Bye.